Most B2B SaaS companies think of lifecycle marketing in distinct phases. You've got the free trial, you've got the onboarding, you've got transactional emails, you've got price increases. Typically, once the trial ends and the user converts to paid, there's some semblance of an onboarding into their paid account. But then after that, largely the emails stop. And that is a big mistake. Today, we're talking about 4 email marketing funnels that most B2B SaaS companies have either completely ignored or they've stood something up and said, hey, this is good enough for now and we'll come back to it later, only to actually not come back to it later. Later is now, so let's get back to them. And let me just say this, if you're not running these funnels, you are definitely leaving revenue on the table. So let's get into what they are. Funnel number 1 is your abandoned cart funnel. These funnels are very well known, especially in the B2C world. But in B2B SaaS, this funnel is typically overlooked. So when we're talking about your abandoned cart funnel, I want you to think about the moment that somebody actually abandons their cart. They got to your checkout page, they entered their payment information, and then something happened. Now, most companies think that the something that happened is simple. The user simply forgot to complete their checkout. But I want you to think about the last time you were in the middle of entering your payment information and then you suddenly forgot what you were doing. That's not the way that it actually works. That is a lazy excuse. So I want you to think about what could have actually happened that caused your user to abandon their checkout process. Maybe your user got called into a meeting. Maybe they think there's going to be a discount code coming, and so they're simply just waiting for that. Maybe they're really well trained in the B2C abandoned carts, and that's just not how it works with B2B. There's no discount coming. Maybe they saw something on your checkout page that felt really sketchy. Maybe there was unclear language or there was some kind of security concern, like did they get a weird pop-up at a time that they weren't expecting it? Maybe the pricing was different than what they were expecting to see. Maybe their credit card got declined. Maybe they wanted to have a conversation with someone on their team before they upgraded. And these are the kinds of things that you should know from talking to your customers. When you talk to your customers, you need to find out what it was that actually happened, and then your abandoned cart sequence needs to actually acknowledge these things. So your first abandoned cart email is going to go out within the hour. We do not want to wait several hours or until the next day to have our first abandoned cart communication with them. Reference what your user was about to do, which is upgrade to a paid plan, and then talk to them about what's on the other side of taking that action. This goes back to your jobs to be done and understanding who your ICP is and all this other important information that you need to know about your ideal customer. How does their life and their business change on the other side of that sign up? We want to use this email to remove any hesitation and make completing their sign up an absolute no-brainer. Your second email, which is going to be sent the next day, starts to address potential objections. What is actually holding your user back from committing? Is there something that they were expecting to achieve throughout their trial that they didn't actually end up achieving, or an experience that they thought they would have that they didn't end up getting the full experience of? Address that. Call it out. There's no point in beating around the bush here. Because if that's the case, talk about how close they are to getting that full experience and remind them why they wanted that full experience in the first place. Get these 2 basic abandoned cart emails set up and you will see your conversions change and they will start to go up. From here, you can start to add more and more emails onto your abandoned cart sequence once you actually get in touch with people who are actively abandoning their carts and figuring out what's happening at this time of them abandoning. Once you find out more specifically what's actually happening, you can then help your future users get over these things and commit to a paid account. Now, the second funnel that I want to talk about is personalized reports. I love this funnel because this isn't about driving any kind of conversion. This is for your pre-existing customers, and this is showing them how your software is driving value for them in their business. What you're doing with these reports is you are pulling data directly from their account. You're using their actual metrics, talking about their accomplishments, and you're packaging it in a way that celebrates them, and then it shows them specifically what they've achieved using your tool. So let's say you have a project management tool. Your users, they're creating tasks, they're assigning them to team members, they're tracking progress, they're closing things out. So a personalized report would pull data like you've created 147 tasks, your team has closed 92 of them, you've been on time for 93% of these tasks, and you've eliminated roughly 3 hours every week that you used to spend in status meetings. Or maybe you show them a trend. You could show them that from month 1 to month 3, their task completion rate went up 18%. They're not just using your tool, they're getting better at project management as a team. The benefits here are compounding. And so this email here, it's not selling them on anything. It's celebrating what they've accomplished and it's showing them actual evidence that your software is working. It makes the value real instead of theoretical. And here's where things can get a little bit more strategic and move into like a nod of a sale. If your tool has premium features or more features that your customer isn't currently using, think advanced reporting or custom workflows or whatever it is that makes sense for your product specifically, and you can identify that from their usage patterns that they could make use of these other features, you can use this email to reference that. However, I do want to stress we don't want to do this in a pushy way. This is more like a, hey, because you're making such great use of X, we also think you should check out Y. And when you're ready to explore it, here's how you'll get access. I personally, in these report style emails, like to put this in the footer so that it is separate from the main report email content. I want to make it clear that this isn't actually a part of the report because what we don't want is for these reports to feel like sales emails. We want people to feel excited about opening them. And so the main purpose of this email needs to be about the actual report and not about selling them and getting them to upgrade anything. And I want you to remember that depending on the email marketing status of your users, like if a customer has opted out of marketing emails, that means you can't send them this sales specific content. So when you put this kind of content into the footer, it allows you to leave this content out for those specific users. And then the rest of the email still makes complete sense to absolutely every user that you're sending it to. The third funnel is customer review campaigns. I love this funnel because this funnel is all about getting fresh social proof in the places where your customers are actually looking for it. Think about your customers' buying journey throughout their time with you. Your ads are going to draw them in. They're going to read the copy on your landing pages. They're going to sign up for your free trial. They're going to experience your free trial onboarding. And then what? They're going to look into you on sites like G2, Capterra. They're going to go to places like Trustpilot. They want to see feedback from real customers who are actually using your tool and people who you're not just featuring in your emails, because everybody knows you get to pick and choose what's going into your emails. You do not get to pick and choose what reviews stay up on G2. So what a lot of companies do wrong in these instances when they're looking for user reviews is they send a generic email that says something like, hey, can you please leave us a review here? And then that's basically where they leave it. But if you want to be successful in this campaign and actually get a lot of really good reviews where people are actually putting effort into it, you need to incentivize your users to leave a review. A lot of these review sites do have programs where you can set it up so that they will automatically send a $20 Amazon gift card for anybody who completes a review. And this is well worth it because the money that you pay for these gift cards will pay off in spades with the amount of trust that you're going to build with all of these fresh reviews. Now, I recommend being a little bit strategic about this, obviously. I want you to start by identifying your most engaged users. So people who are logging into the tool regularly, they're using the features, they're finding value within it, they're completing the key actions that you've built the tool around, and you're going to reach out to those users and ask them for a review. Again, and I will repeat this, do not email users who have not logged in or used your tool for several months. And funnel number 4 is multi-product adoption campaigns. Now, this funnel will apply to you if you have multiple products, if you have different pricing tiers, or multiple product features within your tool that don't necessarily need to be used together. A multi-product adoption campaign is about strategically identifying which customers should be introduced to which additional products or features based on their actual usage patterns. So, say you have a marketing automation platform with distinct features. You have email marketing, you have landing pages, and you have SMS. Let's say a customer signs up and they're using your email marketing. They're engaged, they're sending campaigns, they're getting results. Now, you know that anybody sending email campaigns is also using landing pages. But you see that this specific user is not using the landing pages feature inside their account that they have with you. So this campaign will educate them on why they need to start using both of these features together inside your tool. What kind of benefit will it be to them to have this all housed under one roof? How will their life, their business, their workflow improve by bringing all of these things into one place? But you also have to think about and consider, why haven't they brought it all under one roof already? What prevented them from making the switch from their current landing page software over to yours? You should know these objections and get ahead of them so that you can address them in this campaign. Maybe this user has 35 landing pages already and they don't want to spend the time and the money moving them over into your software. Do you have a team that could do that for them? And maybe that comes with the price of their account. If you do, chances are that they just don't know that this is a thing. So this campaign could help them get over that objection, and now they're moving all of their landing pages over to your software, and now they've achieved multi-product adoption. Or maybe this user is worried about SEO and all the SEO implications of moving over all of their landing pages. Talk to them about how you work around this. How has your company solved for this specific issue? Use multi-product adoption campaigns to match customers to the features that actually help in their specific situation. This is going to increase how much value they receive from your tool, which reduces churn because they're getting more of what they need and are therefore happier with their tool. When you build these 4 funnels into your lifecycle strategy, new signups increase, retention increases, and churn decreases. What more could you ask for? If you want help building out these funnels, book a discovery call with me. The link is in the description. And if you have any questions about anything I talked about,